And coming up on episode 16, part 1 of Real Screaming Kayaks, we have a collection of adventures this time in our New Zealand destination feature where we look at shark encounters. Plus, we have full moon fishing where we go out and target snapper and whatever else during a full moon phase. The results will surprise you despite what we all perceive as a slow day to go fishing. Plus, there's also a section on marine reserves. I take you to a location which is pretty special and show you just what you can discover when you take the time to go and find one of these great opportunities to view some of New Zealand's marine life. All this and more coming up on part 1 of Real Screaming Kayaks episode 16. Good first fish, it's off! Screaming! Welcome to New Zealand Destination for episode 16. This time we're going to do something a little different. I haven't really done a lot of travelling this end of this winter after last episode where we hit the far north. This time I've sort of stayed a bit more local in my hometown area, which is the Coromandel Peninsula. So, you know, there's a bit of a collection of different adventures that I've been on, which involved a few people like Damien Trounsden, who's been on the show before. So, you know, my first part of this is a Mako shark. Damien and I headed up to the east coast of Coromandel, top end, and went out looking for kingfish and snapper, but and got into them, I got to say. But we also had a surprise visitor from a Mako shark. So let's take a look.
Oh shit! There's a big shark on it. Oh bugger! Get out of it! Holy hell! Holy hell!
There he is. Look at that. Oh, that's a decent Mako. Show us that fish, Damien. There you go. Look at that. That's what he ate. Damien had a really nice fish. And there's the Mako. Look, it's circling the kayak. Right here by Damien's kayak. Rotten sod. He's still keen. He knows that fish is here. There he comes. Look at this. He's right here by Damien's. There he goes. Holy. That's a good sized Mako, man. Look at him. I think we better shift, eh, mate?
He's a beast.
He's not scared of us, that's for sure. No. There he goes. Look at him. He's just circling. Here he comes. There he is. Look at him. He's a good Mako. Good size one. I mean, I would have thought it would have been a bit cold. He can't really tell the difference between mine and Damien's kayak because they're both the same colour. Oh man, we're having some encounters again with sharks out here. Mako. It's right behind me. Here it comes. You'll see it in a minute. He's under the kayak. Look at it. Man. There he goes. He's fired up. And there he is over there. He's just shadowing the kayaks. Looking around. He's coming straight towards us. There he is. He's right by Damien's kayak. The bugger. Unbelievable. Mate, he's a serious Mako, that one, eh? Here he is. Look at him. There he is. He's right in front of the kayaks here. I don't know if you can see him. There he is behind Damien's kayak. He's right beside Damien. He's circling Damien. There he is. Look at him. He's not giving up. He's right here. Here he is. Holy! There's this Mako, he's back again. He's a bugger because he actually has realised that Damien's got this fish still. He's just honed in on us. We decided we're going to give the Mako the fish because look at that. You can see what Damien's got left of it. It's actually quite a nice fish. So Damien and I were going to give this shark the fish because he's pretty much eaten most of it, but he's left. And this is the whole thing with sharks, you know. They're only interested in your offerings, you know, the fish generally. So, you know, elimination of the fish, and you know, we've got our scupper holes in our kayaks plugged up, we've got fish bags in our kayaks and that, so any fish in the back is contained and there's no juice leaching out of it. And you know, that fish, he knew that we had a fish that he'd eaten, and he was certainly looking for the rest of it, but you know, Damien got back his fish and the shark's taken off now. He's left, he's gone back wherever, and you know, so the message is, you know, when you see a shark come around or whatever, for whatever reason like that, best idea is not to panic, you know, keep calm and just try to take care on what you're doing. Don't put your feet in the water or anything like that, you know. He'll come, a Mako can come and have a bite at anything, and you know, if it gets hooked up on your line, the best thing you can do is cut it off. Makos can do some crazy things, and you certainly don't want to mess with them. But yeah, take care, and we're now going to probably leave this scene because we're just going to get sharked again. If we pull another fish, he'll hone in on it pretty quickly, so best to move. This next little adventure takes us to the east coast of Coromandel Peninsula, where we head out on a full moon. I head out with Damien Trounsden and a newcomer to the show, Carl Drent, who's just got himself into a predator PDL. You know, full moon is renowned for slow fishing and quite often difficult to get the fish to get into the bite, but despite this, it's surprising the result. So let's take a look. Well, good morning. Starting off the day on the east coast of Coromandel. It's been an interesting month. Had a bit of a trip out with Damien a few weeks back and had a bit of a mishap with deleting some footage, but been up to quite a bit this month. And today we're out, it's full moon. So, and we all know what they say about full moon fishing. However, let's see whether that is actually the case, because it's quite likely that there's going to be some fish around. The bite times generally tend to be a little bit shorter and things, but you still catch some good fish on days like today, and the weather's good, and that's all that matters to me, is just getting out there because we've got the right conditions. So let's see what happens today. Not a bad fish for the first one, little panny on the zest jig, and I always believe in letting go of the first fish. It's a legal fish, but it's certainly not one that I'd want to keep. See you, bud. Well, considering it's full moon, I got me another one. Again, not a big fish, but hey, they're on the bite. So all we need to do is find the better size ones. All right, found a bit of sign and dropped the old jigs down. There's actually quite a bit of sign on the sounder at the moment, which is looking real good. So this fish here's put up a nice little bit of a scrap. So yeah, awesome. Nice to be hooked up. I'm fishing the old Zest 80 gram silver slow J. Seems to be getting plenty of attention today, even from the smaller fish. Here we go, got a bit of colour. And great fish. Good eater. He's still, you know, pretty feisty. But yeah, pretty happy with this one. This is what we're looking for. Oh no, he's alright. There we go. It's a good pan sized fish, be about 40 centimetres. But pretty happy with that. There we go. Good eating size. Lovely. Oh, and there's that jig. Beautiful. Wow, very nice. Just reacting with the jig by dropping down on different things. has produced this trevally. Beautiful. Oh, and I just pulled the hook on it and off she went. My fault for doing that. I should never have tried to lift that fish out, because trevally have got really soft mouths, and I just did the silliest thing then. Paid the price by losing that fish. Well, we're having no shortage of catching fish today, that's for real. This ain't really the size that I want. This will be the smallest fish I've caught today, and it's quite surprising how well these jigs can work with them sitting in the holder. I was actually just put it down and was taking a leak, believe it or not, and bang, hook up. So even when they're sitting in the holder, they can get the fish. Wow, beautiful. Just dropped on a bit of sign down there, and what do you know? A carrot. Yeehaw! That's a nice carrot too. I love the colours on these guys. You've got to be careful around those the head though. Lots and lots of spikes. But yeah, great eating fish, and they love the slow jays. So you can see that. I'm going to definitely take that one home. You can see the colours on that fin there. He's been for a bit of a hard time. Great eating fish. Yeah. So we're just making our way back now. We're only out here for a bit of the day, and wanted to get a feed, and the usual story. We're just cruising along and see this really nice sign on the sounder, and drop down onto it and hook up straight away. So awesome, good fun, you know. I've already got enough for a feed in the back today. I'm heading out again tomorrow with Damien. Here we go. I can see a bit of colour coming my way now. Just love this jigging. Dropping down on fish like this is just, you just can't beat it. Good fun, and yeah, nice fish. Woo! Happy with this one. Only just lip hook too. Beauty. And there we go. Look at that. Still feisty. Nice eating size fish, this one. We'll just get him to keep still. There we go. Look at that. Sweet fish. Sweet snapper. And feisty as in prime condition. And that's what dropping down on those schools and just being ready when you get a fish or you get a bit of an opportunity like that, you take it with these jigs, and it pays off, and that certainly has for me. Awesome. Well, we've come to a little hot spot, lots of sign on the sounder, and we're dropping the jigs down and having an absolute ball. This is what winter fishing's all about. Well, we're more into spring now, but you know, it's full moon. And you know, a lot of people are put off by the fact that it's a full moon to go fishing, but I find the best day to go fishing is when you can get out there. Whether it's full moon or not, it doesn't matter. You know, the fish will be a little bit slower on the bite sometimes, but at the end of the day, if you know what you're doing and you're looking around for them, you will find them. So, and you know, I've got a feed to take home, and here's another one. And not a bad snap either, you know. So, and this is the thing. We just seem to be finding the fish by using our sounders and dropping these jigs down into them, and yeehaw. Oh, he just got unhooked too. Bugger. They're just getting very, very hooked by the lip, so you've got to be real careful with them. Oh, yeah. Just came across another nice patch of fish. I mean, insane. This is a good fish too. It's definitely having a bit of a run around. Good fun on the micro jigs. This is the same jig I've been using all day has been producing the goods. It's peeling a bit of line off. I haven't got a massive amount of drag on, but you know, I don't want to, but this fish is doing heaps of runs. Woo-hoo-hoo. Good fun. Full moon fishing, eh? But there was a ton of fish down there, and you know, I just dropped the jig into them, and they were ready to engage with it as it dropped down. And I hooked one and dropped it, and then dropped it back down and hooked up straight away. Here we go. Here's some colour, and looks like a good snapper. Not unhappy with this. Nice fish. Good solid size fish to take home. Yeah, he wasn't coming off, but you know, again, he's well hooked, but you know, if things went badly, he could easily get off. So there we go. Nice eating size fish and full of beans at this time of the year. You know, they're coming into spring snapper, and you know, that's a really decent eating size fish. Beautiful colours on it, and in prime condition. You can see the fatness of that. He's quite a fat fish. So while I'm hooked up, good old Damien's into one too, and looked like a pretty solid fish that he had, heavy. So yeah, let's see what he gets. Oh, another trevally. Beauty. Oh, don't lose it, mate. If you pull that one on board, I'll be keen. Look at that. Nice trevally. They fight so hard, it's gone under the kayak.
That he just hooked to.
Yeah, I know. They always are. See how you've got to be careful? Whoop.
You see that?
Sometimes the gaff just doesn't do the trick, you know. Great fish, look at that. Beautiful. Show us that, Damo. That's a lovely trevally. I never complain when you get trevally because they're always such nice eating. Check that out. On the jig too. We're just getting so many different species, eh, mate, on the jig. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? You know, I think I've had about 4 species today. So yeah, beautiful fish, mate. Got to be happy with that, eh?
Sushimi.
Alright, so that's our day. Kind of went a little bit crazy towards the end as we were heading back, as it sometimes can, and we enjoyed a good little short session where the fish were going full on. And with the full moon, you know, you've got to take advantage of those. So anyway, that's it for today. We'll see what happens on the next one. My next feature adventure takes us to a marine reserve. If you've never been to a marine reserve before, it's a pretty cool place to go and interact with some of New Zealand's marine life. But most importantly, you'll get to go up close and personal with snapper. It's a pretty good experience, so let's go take a look. How's it going? We're just on a bit of a road trip for a couple of days. We didn't bring any kayaks with us this time because we thought we'd have a bit of a break from that. We're up in the North Island above Auckland, and we're doing a bit of a road trip from Whangarei south, and one of the places we thought we'd stop and I would bring Janet, my partner, here to have a look at is Goat Island. This place is a marine reserve, and the fish life down here is amazing. Seeing the snapper up close and personal. Now, if you've never done this kind of thing before, I highly recommend it. It's a heck of a lot of fun for anyone. Even if you haven't snorkeled before, you can hire gear down the road and do it fairly cheaply. But get in here, have a look around. This place has got some amazing marine life. So let's go have a look, and I'll show you what you can see when you come here. It's a short walk from the car park down to the shoreline, and as soon as you jump in, you're greeted by snapper.
seen that big green light in the sky? Have you ever wondered if vampires transmit blood diseases? Neither have I. A man walks quickly down the ghetto and looks behind him twice.
The number of snapper in residence at this location is simply incredible. At first, the snapper will keep their distance, but eventually curiosity gets the better of them and they will come in to have a closer look of you. This snapper in particular took a real liking to the camera and for some reason tried to take a bite of it. During my time, I was lucky enough to witness a group of snapper who had rounded up a lonely kinner that was out in the open. They soon made pretty short work of munching it up, and it just shows how powerful their jaws can be.
The dog is looking for a victim. It feels it goes alone.
Snapper weren't the only thing on offer during this dive, with opportunities to see other species like this giant boarfish. Goatfish grazed on the seafloor, along with red moki, with their dominant looking bands across their body. I even got to watch them feeding on a rock. There were schools of mackerel and even cow Hawaii swimming around at speed. But one of the coolest things was getting to hang out with this stingray for a short time. And of course, you can't go past the snapper interactions. One of the highlights of going to Goat Island is seeing these awesome snapper in residence.
The dog is looking for a victim. It feels it goes alone, and blackness slips into her bedroom.
Okay, so there we go. That was pretty awesome. We saw a lot of species, snapper being the predominant one, but seeing a boarfish, that was pretty cool, and I don't think Janet's ever seen that again. So if you're ever coming to this area, check out Goat Island. It's well worth the effort. Our last adventure featured in this episode shows the top end of Coromandel Peninsula. It was a period where I just got new cameras on the kayak and it took a bit of getting used to. I had a few muck-ups, but despite this, I still managed to recover some footage of this expedition that we went on. We had a really cool day. We took a couple of days up there, one night. It was a quick opportunity, and some of the results we got right at the end of winter are very surprising. Hey Damien, how's it going? Hey, real good window of opportunity with the weather, mate, for the next couple of days. Spend the night up at Port Jackson, what do you reckon? Okay mate, let's go. With late winter offering some prime time to target fish off the top of the Coromandel Peninsula, Damien and I headed up for a couple of days.
Waiting around for you, I'm hesitating. What can I do? It's a matter of time, they say. Hey, hey, waiting around day by day. Gotta find a reason for.
Our afternoon was to be pretty casual, and we headed out wide targeting fish on the micro jigs. but unfortunately all we seemed to find were smaller size ones.
Well, I'm waiting around for you. I'm hesitating.
As the afternoon went by, more and more fish came on board, yet we still managed to only find the smaller size snapper.
Some remain the same.
As darkness drew near, we focused more on the shallow water stuff. The jigs were put away and it was time to bring out the soft baits, concentrating on a reef that had quite a lot of current flowing over it.
Well, I'm waiting around for you. I'm hesitating. What can I do? Oh, I don't wanna live forever. I don't wanna hide.
Up a bit. Oh no! It feels like it's trying to take me into the weed. I'm still pulling it out. It's definitely, I can feel it in the weed. I got pulled into the rocks a bit. Damien just lost a nice one too. Now I've got this one back out. This is a nice little area here that we're fishing. Oh, this guy's still got me in the weed, the bugger. He's there. I can feel him. He's still on there. Just got to keep the pressure on these guys. Not a bad fish by the feel of this one. Bit better than what we have been getting. Come on. I'm playing tug of war with him now. I can see him down there. I mean, I'm only in 6 meters of water, so yeah, good fun. Whew. I pulled this. Oh, this is a much better fish. It just shows you they can be right up in the shallows. Yeehaw! Look at that.
Waiting around for you. I'm hesitating. What can I do? Well, I'm waiting. Well, I'm waiting. Well, I'm waiting. Well, I'm waiting. Once again.
So that's it for this first part of Real Screaming Kayaks New Zealand destination. Keep an eye out for part 2 coming soon, where you'll see part 2 of our expedition up to the top end of Coromandel, where we go out wide targeting whatever on jigs and soft baits right at the end of winter. Then discover the Firth of Thames. We head down there and chase some of the spring snapper workups. They've already turned up. It's starting early this year and we get in some really nice fish. Special thanks to our sponsors. Outdoor Sports New Zealand provide the Old Town kayaks and Ocean kayak that get us to the action. Humminbird provides the technology that finds the fish. Railblazer customises our kayaks. Sharkskin protects the body against the elements. Neptune assists with the freediving. Pelage helps gather the seafood. Abu Garcia, Jigstar, Maxwell and Penn fight the fish.